Chiefs and Reds, top of the table Super Rugby clash, folks. This is take two. The one where I plugged the microphone in. Last one was me very enthusiastically talking about this game in the rain. But it's just kind of a dude yapping with no sound because there was no microphone. So the Chiefs won. Take two. In the rain. It's been miserable here in many parts of New Zealand. Some places worse than others, but it was clearly very wet down in Hamilton. Clash of the Titans in terms of their Super Rugby log positions going into this one. It's the Chiefs who get it done. 27-15. The Reds don't kick their goals. The boot of Damian McKenzie with his conversions and a couple of penalties sees the Chiefs win it, looking like pretty comfortably in 27-15. But it is 3 tries apiece. It was 10-all for a long period in this game. The Reds had a couple of golden opportunities at the start of the second half to potentially go in front despite a yellow card. Didn't take them. And then the Reds couldn't match the Chiefs bench. When the Chiefs clear the bench, I mean, some of these guys who score the tries are the guys from the bench. It has been partly a story of the Chiefs season that they do get good value from the guys on the pine. We'll go through some of the key events and stats pretty quick because my laptop's got less battery than it did on take one. You guys can let us know your thoughts. First try, Luke Jacobson. Close range flying start for the Chiefs. They conceded a penalty, the Reds. Touch and, the maul phases. Chiefs over. 7 points to 0. Cracking start. And the Reds, you feel like, guilty of a few too many handling errors. Paisami, McDermott dropping the ball. But the Chiefs would drop a bit of ball as well, which is to be expected in these conditions. The Chiefs went multi-phase. Their handling was a lot better at the start of the game. McAllister, the hooker, he had a nice line break. But, the Reds' defence held under that early Chiefs onslaught. McLaughlin Phillips, I think, was the guy who won the turnover. And then when the Reds did actually get some play down the Chiefs' end, they were not opting for threes. They went for touch, despite having a penalty directly in front. Cannon wins a line out, maul time, and Matty Fassler goes over for a maul try. So, missed conversion, but 7 points to 5. That is proper game on and reward to the Reds for not just opting for 3. And then, it was the Chiefs who had their own kind of period of pressure to defend. The Reds actually managing to go kind of 10-plus phases. Luke Jacobson managed to win a penalty, won a pilfer at the breakdown. Stevenson, and I think it was his 100th game, hoofed clear, so big congratulations to him. That's quite an achievement. But, both sides able to put each other under the pump, which is pleasing because it's the top two sides. Chiefs did get held up not too long later, but they had advantage, and they were not afraid or not hesitant to opt for a 3, take advantage of the field position, take the points on offer, 10 points to 5, which is what it looked like it would go into the halftime sheds with, but for a Joe Bryle try, which was something a bit of a miracle one, but I don't mean, like, it's just good punishing play for not being able to catch a high ball. D-Mac, after the Reds had put up a high ball, struggled to contest it with Dalgunu. It doesn't go forward off Dalgunu, it goes backwards off the Chiefs. Bryle's able to hoof it, and he's got some gas, man. He's able to kind of ground it with his torso. Unconverted, but it's a try. 10 points apiece at halftime. So, no margin at the start of the half, no margin at the second. It is all square. The territory is with the Chiefs at halftime. The position is with the Reds. Turnovers considered as pretty even. 9 by the Chiefs, 10 by the Reds. Defenders beaten is 9 by the Chiefs, 7 by the Reds. Line breaks is 2 by the Chiefs, 1 by the Reds. So all pretty even Stevens, largely, and as reflected on the scoreboard. Second half starts with a yellow card to Tumunga Allen for a shoulder kind of ish to the head in a clean out. Justin Marshall didn't like it. I didn't like how long it took them to look for it. I mean, the TMO was kind of apologetic about it's not his fault that the people producing the show couldn't find the right footage for him, but they eventually found it and Tumunga Allen got yellow carded. But despite the yellow card, the Reds looked the better of the team. And this is the period I feel like the Reds lost the game. I mean, forgetting the yellow card because they were playing better rugby. Maybe they get it if they got 15 on 15. Tate McDermott said after the game they might have opted for a penalty. It was 15 on 15. But because it was 14 on 15, they opted for touch when they had the Chiefs under the pump. And before that, to be fair, McLaughlin Phillips looked like he'd scored a try anyway. That one got TMO. The TMO took ages to look at that one as well. But to be fair, that one was a call that deserved a good look because was it down? Was it not down? It was down, but he rolled it across the line. It was just short, as he's kind of sliding over. Tupai's trying to make the defensive play. He's just grounded it short of the line, and it rolls onto the line. So it's a knock-on. Red scrum, defensive scrum manages to win a penalty, so put the pressure back on the Chiefs. They opt for touch instead of a three-pointer, and the Chiefs were able to shut that down. So McLaughlin Phillips getting denied, and then the Chiefs shutting down the maul, I think, is probably the winning of the game, because then the Chiefs bring on their subs, and they get a penalty from a scrum. D-Mac slots at 13-10. Jacob kicks a 50-22, which is pretty sweet. Gives them some good territory. They can't convert from it initially, but it gives them in the right area of the field. Heaps the Chiefs pressure. The Reds are up for it until about 71 minutes when Chiefs don't opt for three. Maul time. Taukiaho goes over. Great conversion. 20 points to 10. I mean, both sides a couple of errors. D-Mac out on the full. D-Mac misses touch. Anderson out on the full. But then, it's game over when Rowe scores, rampling with a big carry. Again, it's the subs doing it for the Chiefs. Rowe with the kind of halfback snipe to be expected. 27-10. The Reds did get the final say when Wilson, the Lucy, puts a kick through for Liner in the back line, but it's too little too late. That's another misconversion, so 27-15. Chiefs finished with more possession and territory, despite the fact that at the start of the second half, they had like 30% territory because they were under the pump. But overall, the course of the 80 minutes, they dominate those two areas. The Reds had a couple of more turnovers conceded, but it was not that bad, 18-20. Given the conditions, clean breaks, 3-2 to the Reds. Defenders beaten 20-13 to the Chiefs. D-Mac, all involvements, a few drop balls, but also 5 defenders beaten. McCright, 23 tackles. Reds are home to the Brumbies next. Chiefs away to the Tars. Fingers crossed you guys have got sound and video for this one, because that's tends to be how YouTube works. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. I thought it was a pretty decent game despite the conditions for these top-of-the-table Giants. It would have been nice to see it in the dry, but hey, it was what it was, and it was an arm wrestle for large periods until the Chiefs came out on top. Would you mind subscribing to the channel? I'd appreciate it if you did. Take care of yourselves. Talk to you guys again soon. See you later.